Damn, Peter Puffer. What is up, people? I am here. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing a lot of things actually. I got like several tasks going on at the same moment. In fact, I have to. Actually, I need to restart that one when it starts. Yeah, bouncing back and forth between meeting a job at the moment, and my God, the mosquitoes bad right now. You cannot go outside. Like they will carry your ass away. Let's see here. What is up, dude? So yeah, I got a major cooking project going on where I have to do a 3 hour simmer. So I'm bouncing back and forth between checking that because it's got to stay between a certain temperature and getting back to this thing and fixing this up because this is pretty smacked up in some places. I might have to really change those shock towers. It is beat to hell. I'm gonna see what I got in the bin. So yeah, we're gonna rebuild the shocks. Don't believe I have enough fluid to do a set of shocks. So I don't know what I'm gonna do here, depending on what it looks like. I might just reuse the stuff because you can do that. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. That's funny. Now I've talked to text on it. Got that whole conversation. Right. Ow. That hurt. Just kicked myself in the foot. So I imagine there would be somebody be here by now, but I guess not. So I might as well just say, for those of you who don't know, my name is Logan. Hello. I am 46 years old. I've been in the RC hobby for at least 30 years, due to the fact that I took a long hiatus after a semi-professional racing. I wouldn't call it career. I mean hobby. It's still not a career. But yeah. So I've been in pretty deep gas, electric, 10 scale, 12 scale, 8 scale, quarter scale. Never owned a quarter scale, thank God. But driven just about everything. Had a couple of planes. Used to fly with my dad, and he's not around anymore. So. Plus, I don't really like the whole idea of not being able to stop. But that's that. So yeah. Hey, buddy. I was just giving like a background in case somebody watches this later. Talking about how I've been in it for like 30 years. Took a little hiatus after a semi-pro racing career. Blah 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 blah. The rest is history. Anyway. It's like I was in a time capsule. I come back and there's lipo motors and brushless or lipo motors, brushless motors and lipo batteries. 7.6 volt. What in the hell was that in the 80s? Yeah, it was, dude. Thanks. Did I already do both of those, or do I have another pin laying around? I don't have another pin laying around anyway. I want to show you how cool this is. There it is. All right, so package at Walmart, $10, right? It's got the little pintle guy in the middle there. He's unscrewable, so you can take him out. Okay. So anyway, take an old one out, super easy. Obviously, just stick it in there and just slam it through. And your backdrop here is adjustable, so that's kind of cool. You can get it lined up right. You can just zip that bad boy right on out of there. Don't go too far because it'll get the pintle stuck in it, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. But anyway, that's already done. Let me get this thing out of here. Put some grease on there or something. So, no, it's still in there, but a little farther and it will go. There's no point in sticking out anyway because I don't have another one to put in it. But actually, now that I think about it, you could go back to back on these and just have that one push the other one out. And you actually use the pintle piece to push the new one in. You have to kind of self-start it so it doesn't fall out, but other than that, I've already done 2 of them. That's one of them. It's a brand new M2C pin. No part number on package. It says call. I don't know if you follow Formula One, but fuck Lance Stroll. Just shit about that guy. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, I was trying to fix this rear. My wheelie bar has gone horseback riding or to a college frat party for a gangbang, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I need to fix that at some point. But in the meantime, we've already got the shocks off. Oh, here's the other one I did. It looks a little off because it's got some dirt and shit on it, but it's good. So anyway, I already got this front apart. Various bits and bobs everywhere. Bits and pieces, bits and pieces. So as I've been simmering, yeah, exactly. Kind of like Idiocracy. Oh, that's really happening though. Fuck. We didn't think that was funny anymore, Mike. I meant Mike Judge. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, as the evening progresses and my simmering continues, I tend to be licking the spoon, if you know what I'm saying. You think I'd learned my lesson the first time? You know what I'm making, right? I think I sent. Did I send you a picture? Yeah, I already told you. Never mind. God, I'm so forgetful. I'm getting old. That feels beautiful right now, actually. Oh yeah, a little rough spot in the middle, but yeah. Judging by the fluid I took out of my other one, it's pretty nasty crap. I really shouldn't be reusing it, but I'm gonna have to because I'm not gonna have time to get to the store tomorrow. And I don't want to go Saturday morning. Screw it. I've got enough left in here to like kind of renew it, I guess. Whatever you want to call it, man. It's like that used Motorola they used to have. Oh, was that garbage? Yeah. Notice it's not around anymore. I think all Motorola's have a little bit of used in them. You know, the very, very top echelon of what they can filter off and make clean again. Engines are way too sensitive in tolerances these days to put any kind of used particulate or possible damaging fluid in them. I mean, back in the day, we had 1030 and 540 or whatever, shit like that. Ooh, that's bad. I've never seen black. I've seen gray and silver. I need to repeat that, but I'm off sync because I was just up there before I started this, and it's only been 7 minutes. At 20, I'm going to go in and check. So, yeah, this is kind of a grayish silver. And mainly what that's going to be is that's going to be the probably the aluminum inside the body wearing out. A lot of these shock bodies are OE, bro. Yeah, you know how long I've had these. I think I changed the ones on my big truck because they were so worn that I was literally getting variable stroke damping. Yeah, see, this is kind of like a metallic-ish, kind of slurry looking. You could probably filter that with a coffee filter, kill the crap out of it. In fact, while I'm sitting here rebuilding shocks, I could be doing that. You know what? That might be Lucas. In fact, I've got fresh Lucas. I'll just run Lucas. Yeah, okay, who cares? Who gives a... I'll keep this around for somebody who's getting free shock all again. Because got plenty of people doing that. Hey man, you fixed my truck? Yeah, hey, I changed all your fluids and did your suspension, set your alignment. Oh, okay. What'd you say you wanted? $20? No. Okay, here's $20. I'm going to murder your parents. Just kidding, that never actually happened. But I've had similar situations. Yeah, that's it. You know, I noticed that you can't really judge engine oil unless you have like a stream, like a split stream. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's thin in the middle and you can see through it when it's new. That's when you can really judge. Like you have to you have to rate its darkness on a particular thickness and have the same thickness of sample throughout other oils that you're trying to compare, because otherwise it's not accurate. Just saying, like when you can see the sun through it and it's like kind of a light amber. That's that lady that changed her oil by 3 months and not 6,000 miles or whatever. Like she only put like 30 miles on the car or 100 or whatever. We get a lot of those. I'm not the service writer, so I'm not going to tell them you don't have to come back in 3 months if you've only driven it once. But of course, this is Florida, so if you let your car sit around, guess what? The rats are going to get into it. And boy, did they do some damage. You wouldn't believe the money rats rack up. I've seen several cars people have just said, nope, fuck it, I'm done. Because the rats got in them. And some were worth some money, maybe 10K. Anyway, so it looked more like, yeah. Now use diesel oil. That's pretty much like, if it's actually run its course mileage wise, that's worse than any gasoline engine oil can get, as far as I'm concerned. It's like a neon black. It's like Wesley Snipes and Bernie Mac had a love child. That's how dark that shit is. That was fucking beautiful. That was damn good, bro. You gotta admit, that was funny as fuck. I can't wait to tell somebody that. Like, dude, yeah. Because, there are a couple guys watching. Okay. Well, so, I mean, that wasn't racist. I was just comparing your skin tone, and they all know us as whitey, too, so they know our skin tone as well. I'm just kidding. I've got plenty of Scandinavian friends. Yeah, like I'm going to say that first thing racist always says, ooh, I wasn't born in this country. I was born and raised in California, so I have completely different views than most Southerners, put it that way. Well, I wouldn't say most. I'd say a fraction of, because we don't know how fractions can be. What? Can paint. Oh, 7.3 diesel. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, dude. It's. But it's just like I always say. If you have a gasoline engine and it sounds like a diesel, it's done. It's finished. You need a new motor. There's no rebuild. You have damaged internal components that are structural to the engine, not just pistons and rods. So, but a diesel sounds like that all the time. I'm not okay with that. That's contradictory to everything I know when it comes to engine noise. I mean, I get it. You can pull a house off the foundation. Why do you need to? Okay, so you can kill like 5 species in one drag race due to air pollution. Cool. All right. What's the point? But what's really cool? Watching them blow up on a dyno on a runaway. Every time I get to see that, I'm just like, yes! I almost get a little boner. I'm just kidding. No, but, diesels have their place. Preferably not in the hands of somebody who has a cowboy hat and a belt buckle and boots, who has never ridden a horse, if you know what I mean, a bird. All right, let's see how many bent shafts we got. Well, there's one here. Looks like an alien. That one is not from San Francisco. Oh. Hey, that's a righteous pun, dude. Where is my other shaft? That's not what she said. 1, 2, 3. I think that's the one I took out last night. But it should still be right here. Did I bury it in parts? Always a possibility. dismount the piston? Oh, I did, didn't I? No, I don't think I dismounted it. I think I was just showing you it. When you get old, your memory starts to fade. Yeah, so I don't know what I was going to do. I keep in the for bolts, nuts, screws. MGC 1 degree rear D-blocks. Actually ran it for a while. It's not very stable because it's designed for that bolt-in hinge pin. I was just kind of using it with a slightly elongated pin and a something to block it from coming back through the end, like one of the plastic caps milled down to fit. Son of a hamster fucker. Where the shit? Everything else ends up on the floor. It's probably on the goddamn floor. Oh. There's something. On the car, that would be kind of weird. Yeah, all right. Well, case of the machine shopped. Besides the point, I probably have enough parts to build another one. We'll change the pistons out anyway. Thank you, Mike. All right, I need my suspension box. Yes, I know it's at a sad state at this moment, but I haven't organized all my crap yet either. Still from the fire. But I do have some needed parts in here. Like, for instance, this front shaft. That is actually just barely the right size. Might actually be a tad bit longer than that one. But what else do I gotta do? What else can I do? I've got a standoff, which I need, but prefer to have a real one. That's one from the brand that they're kind of, whatever. Let's see if I can actually take this thing apart. This is still from the fire. So it's a melted piece of red plastic. I don't know what that would have been, but that obviously, yeah, there's piston and all the stuff just falling out of it. The piston obviously melted off. You can see parts of it down in there. I probably can't see with the light, but so that was in a house fire. Yeah, there's some that red can be control arm. It probably is control arm actually. Yeah, it's flexible. It's control arm. So there you go. But I chose to salvage stuff because I had a lot of parts. That is perfect length. That will replace. Is that good, really? Yeah, it is. Okay, I'll replace that one. Yeah, that one's tweaked too. All right, well, I got another salvage part. I didn't buy shock shafts for so freaking long. Like, I didn't see any reason to pick them up because I'd forgotten to buy them. We hadn't been them in so long. Either that, I think maybe it's because we overstocked on them and just forgot about it after the fire. Yeah, this cap is very, very well tightened, and honestly, it's been through the fire. There we go. I probably should just grab the rod and pull it out. I mean, it's not like it's going to stick. You know what's funny about this? Yeah, it's actually stuck to the piston still. Look at that. The rings are quite fluffy. To see what happened to some of the different materials, like certain, say stuff was supposed to be heat treated or special or something or other. Oh, that is actually straight. 70, 76 or whatever. And then it goes through a house fire and you see what melted and what didn't. And you go, well, somebody's full of shit. I can tell you this, it's not M2C. I've got parts on both my trucks that came off of my wife's trucks that were M2C that went through the house fire. And they're just fine. She either doesn't want them. I don't know why. She won't admit it's because of reasons of memory because she lost an animal in that fire, unfortunately. But I'm not going to pry. Uh, and she usually just uses the excuse that actually is proper. She's got a brand new V6, so most of the parts don't fit. Your I did change her front lower brace. Her rear lower brace won't fit. Her center brace won't fit. Shock towers, I think, are different. Well, no, I think they'll work, but anyway, she's already got upgrade stuff on that, and she hasn't broken anything yet. Explain that. Neither has Alan. Explain it. I mean, I've even taken my wife's car out like 2 or 3 times and beat it pretty good for a good, couple minutes. I mean, not like a full batteries, truck servicing, but just a quick little, 90% hit, freaking, I mean, not a crash, but, like, big jump or a double or, whatever, some TikToks or not that we can do those yet. We're still working on what we call the windshield wiper, which is just one. Um, but yeah, that'd be cool if you could actually flip it back and forth a couple of times. I'm sure you can do it if you set it up right, but it's just you don't want to compromise the rest of the suspension just for one trick. That's kind of lame. I mean, unless it's just for a video or something, I guess. But I mean, I didn't modify my suspension on my Titan when I jumped off the parking garage, or not Titan, but a Crate. No, sir, that was balls out, and let's hit this shit, man. Because I'm fucking crazy sometimes. You guys notice that I've been looking for this fucking part for this whole time and just kind of off in space. I've been licking the spoon. Yeah, no more spoon licking. No, no more spoon licking. I am good. This is way stronger than any of the other batches I made. Of course, it's more than 2/3 times the ingredient. So that makes sense. All right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to finish the rest of it. So, oh, I need to find the drill again. Because I still haven't found it. Will these fit in the Dremel? That'd be cool. Oh, yeah. That's what I used to cut that toenail, by the way. I wanted something that had a nice wide curve so that it would give it the most relief space. Made logic to me. Shock pliers, not just for shocks. Let's see here. Maybe. I think that's a stretch. Yes. No, it's not going to do it. What about if we kind of finagle our bagel here? Let's see if we can spread our tulip. I think it's, I don't know what they call that. Drill chuck doodad thingy mabob. Something or other. I'm sure it's not called a tulip. There is a part on a car called a tulip. On any car with a constant velocity axle, there's a part called a tulip. Can you tell me what it is? Pop quiz, hot shot. Nobody will tell me that, I guarantee it. Unless you're an auto technician that's been working on cars for at least 10 years, because nobody in the past 10 years has done what you would have to do to know that. Or to even be interested. Nope. I didn't think so. The inner joint of a constant velocity shaft is called a tulip joint because it's got 3 prongs and 3 bearings, semi-resembling a tulip. Boring shit you didn't want to know. That's why you come here. All right, so yeah, it doesn't quite fit the Dremel tool. I mean, I did clean it up pretty good, but that's not really the way I want to put it in my car. So let's just focus in on getting these old pistons off, bench shafts out of the way, and maybe my wife knows where the drill is. Oh, I could use that plug-in one. There you go. Same one from last night. So, Five Guys, how's your burgers? There's 5 people apparently watching. Anyway, if anybody has any questions or comments, please. Yeah, like I said, Mike, most people wouldn't, and unless you've ever had to rebuild a half shaft or take an ASC test for a drivetrain, then you wouldn't know that because there's no reason to know it, and nobody rebuilds half shafts anymore. As far as I know, nobody cuts brake rotors anymore. Nobody rebuilds starters or alternators. Well, that's kind of old too, but back in my day, we used to rebuild the glass in the fucking windows. Don't know where that came from, guys. Just, let it be. Wow. Yeah, I went there. Yeah, but I still have stone hones. Like a cylinder hone, with the 3 prongs and the stones. You get that crosshatch on there so you can break your rings in on a fresh motor. I have 3 stone hones for brake master cylinders, brake wheel cylinders, brake calipers, to rebuild them and refinish them, because they used to do that in the shop on a brake job. Can you imagine having like a 10-hour brake job and all you're doing is like 4 calipers, pads, rotors, lines, or not lines, but hoses? It's 10 hours. Well, I guess if you work for a Land Rover, it probably is anyway. I don't know anything about Land Rover brakes, to be honest with you. I haven't had to do them yet. Well, no, I have, but it's nothing different. Their suspension's funny, but any air ride on a truck is a dumb idea. Anyway, that was a tangent from hell. You took a right turn right off the conversation highway into Fucksville. I'm going to not talk for 30 seconds. You guys should do it. Was that 30 seconds? I don't know. I just got tired of shutting up. Anyway, you can tell how much Adderall I've had today. Enough. That's for sure. All right. And couldn't do that again if I tried. Right off the rim. All right. Oh, that's the timer. All right, ladies and gents. Yeah, it's 27 minutes, actually. I should have been there a minute ago. I'll be right back. Gotta go check on the saute, so to speak. Ooh. All right, and I'm back. Things are going very well up there. It's a nice, perfect 168 degrees. And with this particular recipe, you want to stay between 160 and 200 for 3 whole hours. Otherwise, you can screw things up pretty bad. Waste a lot of nice flowers. Mom would appreciate it. Mine would. Timer. All right. Okay. Thank God. I only have 37 minutes left out of 3 hours. So, great. Okay, can somebody just scribble on your keyboard and hit enter in the chat just so I can know it's working? If you don't mind. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. No, these are not stock springs. Thank you for asking. These are from a company called Century Springs that doesn't make RC car parts. They make springs. Um, East Tactics on YouTube. He found, or somebody helped find him. I don't know the exact story. He says it on his channel. He's got a video on these springs and tells you the part numbers. And you can go to centurysprings.com, put in the part number, and you can order them right there, and they'll ship them to your house in a very rapid fashion. And these are 10.5 pounders, which I don't believe you can buy from Arrma, or I haven't really researched. The last time I checked, which is probably a year ago, I think the heaviest one you get from Arrma for Creighton was like a 7.5 or something. When you're jumping off parking garages, yeah, I did that once, but when you're throwing your stuff 30, 40, 50 feet in the air, 100 feet out, you got a 15-pound truck. If every spring compresses 1 inch per 5 pounds of weight, or, yeah, then when you land a 15-pound truck from 30 feet, you're slapping chassis so hard. I guarantee you it's going to rattle your freaking motor magnets loose. I mean, unless you got like a silicone pillow under the motor, it's just so. It's heavy. Yeah, I do like a lighter feel on a truck sometimes. Like driving my wife's brand new V6 is very, very nice. It's like kind of like a Cadillac, but it'll do stunts too. Compared to mine's kind of clunky and rocky, but it's not always on the ground or 5 feet off the ground. Sometimes I send it, and I did cut the front springs down though. This is the stock length of this particular part number, which I could send you if you need it. And they don't come with a finished ground end, so you got to grind that down to make it fit the perch. You can order them finished ground, but I think it's like more money. So I mean, they're already $10 a piece. And then these are the same ones, just cut down a little bit more for the fronts, because the fronts, if you run this full length spring in the front, because it's a shorter body and everything on a Creighton or a Notorious, you're going to be pulling off shock ends all the time. If you land on the corners, like even slightly oververt, it's just going to pull it right off because it's already got so much pressure on it. Even with the perch completely up the top of the body, it's just too much. So after experiencing that several times, I decided to modify it, and I'm happy with what I did after probably about 4 or 5 batteries through it. I'm sure you can find them in shorter lengths. You can email these people. They're very, very good company. They're very good customer service. I'm sure they don't get a lot of yahoos because they're a spring company. The only people calling them are industrial specialists and whatnot. And then you tell them what diameter you need, what strength you need, what finish you need on the spring, zinc or stainless or whatever, how you need the ends cut, if they need to be flat or if the coil is fine, or anything you want in a spring, you tell them and they'll look it up. And if they have one already in their inventory, good for you. Because if they don't, you're going to have to make 50 or something like that, because that's just kind of how it works. They don't sell to RC car people. They're a spring company. And they make amazing springs. I haven't had a single problem with any of these. None of them have rusted their zinc finish. None have rusted. I haven't had problems with them binding and rubbing on shock bodies. I mean, these are original shock bodies for this truck. It's 4 years old. That's not it didn't cut into the, yeah, it wore a little off, but it never cut into the actual threads, and I don't know if you ever looked inside your shock bodies, but there's some wear in there if you've had them for a while. My original ones on the other truck, on my Creighton, got so bad that it had dual rate damping. Like in the middle of the stroke, it'd be like super easy, and then as it got towards the ends, it would stiffen up because it was bored out in the center of the body. And when you took the piston out, you could see it was red, silver, red. So, yeah, check that once in a while, rebuild your shocks. I mean, I wasn't going to rebuild these. I was actually just fixing the end on one, and then I noticed the shaft was bent, and then I looked at the other one, and this was tweaked, and it's like every time you touch your truck, take it apart, and there's bad shit. Century Springs. Yes, I did. Absolutely. OG Nitro. What up, dude? Abe Foreman in the house. Yes, Century Springs, I did say. Yes, I might have repeated myself several times. I'm sorry. um, it's been a very interesting day for me. Let's just put it that way. Some personal shit going on. Nothing you should worry about. But I don't have to work until get up at 7, be at work by 8. I work 5 minutes away. I'm having a drink or two. What a vodka right there. Anyway, so not to mention I just rebuilt the lawnmower. Um, like literally, not like the one I have a video on. I just put it back together, like all the covers. Got that done. Ran a new USB cable for my mom. Uh, been at simmering something for almost 3 hours right now, and it has to stay within a certain temperature or it will destroy the product. And on top of that, doing this and clean, just 1,000 things. That's all I'm saying. So and I've done that since I got out of work at 4:30. It is now 8:42. Yeah, and managed to eat somewhere in the middle. Actually, I haven't finished it yet. And deal with a dog that is so enormously pet me until he fucks off, and then he finally fucks off. But then you wonder where the fuck he went, so you have to call him back anyway. And then he's pet me. He's neurotic as fuck. Anyway, enough about my life. How's yours? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Where are you from? Where are you watching this strange purple bearded monkey play with nuts and bolts? Correct me if I'm wrong. White in the front, black in the back for M2C shock pistons. Now, if any of you don't know about these M2C custom pistons, please raise your hand and I will explain them to you. They are a fairly nifty product, and they offer more benefits than just what they're designed for, which is dual rate damping. They have other benefits as well that I've found over conventional arrma pistons or arrma modified pistons or arrma pistons with little pieces of plastic all inside, so they're dual rate because it's like a flapper valve. Yeah, we've been doing that since the 80s, guys. That's nothing new. I don't know if anybody knew about that trick, but there you go. Yeah, you can make your own dual rate damping. It's very simple. It's tedious because you have to cut the little pieces of plastic very, very carefully in a circle. Helps to have a punch. And you have to find something that won't blow off the top of the piston without a giant washer. Or if you can find a thin enough washer, you could make a valve that's just like a real shock. But, right, fronts are white. And where are my washers? I'm sure you guys know what the special shock washers, right? One on the bottom, just the right size, so it doesn't slide down the shaft because it's 3 different sizes right there. Well, you got the diameter of the shaft. Right above that, you got the diameter of the piston inside diameter. Right above that, you got a flange, like a little angle, concave, kind of like a spark plug gasket on a Ford. And then above that, you got the threaded diameter. So you got all these different diameters. And yes, you have custom washers for 2 of them. And if they're not right, you can have your piston slide right down the shaft, just like so. There's that washer, wrong washer. And then you have no damping, and you wonder why, because you just rebuilt your shocks, and you thought you did a good job, and you might have, but one crucial part wrong. This is one of those things I like to call not hard to do, but easy to fuck up. And there's a lot of things like that. And this is definitely one of them. It's not a difficult task, but don't let your mind wander because you think you're comfortable if you haven't done this several times. And then it just becomes muscle memory. Kind of like working on the cars, like real ones. Like say for instance, I got this job today at the end of the day because the guy who wrote it up originally, or the guy who worked on it originally, he was swamped with a car that had to be done by tomorrow night, Friday, and he didn't have time to do it. So he was like, hey, you want to work on this Nissan? Yes, I do. I worked for Nissan for 17 years. So I know more about Nissans than, I don't know, a whole boatload of people. Um, I was almost a Nissan master, ASE master for over 10 years. I've let my credentials slip because they don't really matter, to tell you the truth. Anybody can pass a test, but, you know, sounds like we have visitors of the third kind. Hello? Who is it? It's Nicholas. Everybody say hi to Nicholas from the channel. Don't scream in my ear. So, yeah, there are many, many, many good videos of Nicholas doing absolutely wonderful and hilarious things on our channel. And he actually did like a, what do you think it was, 100 yards, 90 yard wheelie with the 223? And what's on that 223 again? Some dude asked me about that last night. I was trying to remember everything. We got Typhon shocks, right?
Yes, 6S shocks.
6X Typhon shocks, right? And then what tires? 10 scale tires or
Badlands.
Badlands? All right, probably Badlands. Yeah. Hell of a ride, man. I mean, the ride quality is great when we got it.
I'm actually happy with it being 3S.
Mike said you're a troublemaker. Is that your answer? Is that your final answer? What the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, my hetero life partner. Oh my god. I've known this dude for like 25 years, seriously. Can you imagine putting up with that dude for 25 years? Nah, dude. Nick is
no gray hairs yet.
Nick is one of the best friends you could ever have, dude. Seriously. This dude could be in a snowstorm, walking backwards with bare feet and a wife beater on, and you could be inside a phone booth with a heater, and he doesn't want to come in, but you could ask him for his shirt and he'd give it to you. That is like the most retarded analogy I've ever made, but I made that up off the cuff because I couldn't keep thinking of anything, so please forgive me. What are you doing? You know you're on camera, right? Jesus Christ, bro. Don't get me in trouble. I don't want to get an email tomorrow because I just got my email working again going, so you had inappropriate behavior on your YouTube channel, which has now been canceled.
See, you Brody's getting into it.
You know, I mean, he's made video of the week how many times? I don't need this one.
I think that little nose piece, the Eyeglass World, gave me help my glasses from falling.
Where'd you go to Eyeglass World?
Oh, I bought my glasses. I was
No. Which Eyeglass World?
The one in Port Charlotte.
The one my wife used to work at, my ex-wife?
I don't know.
Is it the one by across from Century Bank or Regis Bank?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a gun shop on the opposite corner.
I know there's one close by. I don't remember exactly.
No. Like it's like
It's on the
Port
corner.
Charlotte Boulevard, 41, Eyeglass World, gun shop, Regis Bank, Walmart. Right? Dude, fuck off. Anyway, I mean, can you explain it any easier than that? I just want which direction everything's in when facing north.
Yes,
I mean,
I said yes.
okay, so yes, my ex-wife used to work there. Anyway, you go in there and ask for, it's a big girl in there. Pretty round, pear-shaped, right?
I don't think I've seen one like that.
In a white lab coat, right? Go up to her, be like, excuse me, I know Logan. He said you're really cool. Can you help me? Dude, she will hook you up.
Well, they can't anymore because they don't take my insurance.
Nick, what did I just say? Did I say they will hook you up unless you don't have insurance? No, I said they will hook you up. Okay, dude, listen. True story, by the way. Hopefully there's nobody out there from Eyeglass World or corporate. Well, you know what? If you are, fuck, it doesn't matter. What is this? Statute of limitations, some shit? Anyway, right. So I used to build cars in my garage. I was underneath 240SX turbo with K24 I was building, fully built motor. We were doing a custom turbo manifold on top, and I was on top of the thing grinding, right? Doing a lot of grinding. And then later on in the evening, I was underneath it working with the hydraulic hoses for the master, for the clutch, I mean. And some fresh, raw metal apparently fell into my eye. But I mean, the air is saturated with it at this point. And this is why I'm telling you, after doing this for a long time, wear your safety glasses. If you're underneath something or you feel something hit your eye like a piece of sand or dust, put glasses on because there's more coming. If you're grinding, cutting, I'm telling you, just wear. You don't want to be blind. I've got a dead spot from a blood clot from something hitting my eye. So you don't want that. You don't want to lose an eye. I had a piece of metal when I was hitting someone with an air hammer come and stick in my cheek. That was about the size of a toenail clipping. If that was like 3 inches higher, yeah. And I pulled it out of my cheek like a fish hook. Dude, wear your safety goggles, man. Or glasses, even get custom ones. My ex-wife that worked at Eyeglass World made me custom safety glasses that were transitions and polarized. Badass. You can do that. So, just get ones that work for you. Just get them and wear them. Anyway, that's enough about the safety lecture for today. Fuck were we talking about? Okay, right. Eyeglass World. Getting hooked up Eyeglass World. Okay, so piece of metal got in my eye, right? 3 days later, I woke up, my eye was swollen shut. Didn't know why. Went to the hospital. They pried that shit open and it did not feel good. You ever had a bad cold and had stuff running out of your nose all night and you wake up in the morning and it's dried? Imagine that on your eyeball. And then they put this freaking opposite bear trap thing in there to open it up. And they're like, well, you got a bunch of metal in there. And I'm like, okay, how you know that? He's like, because it's rusty. So this was embarrassing. 23-year-old doctor, tall white kid, is in there digging pieces of shit out of my eye. They got me locked up in a halo with two of these, vaginal shoe spreaders in my fucking eyeballs. Looked like a bad horror movie. Anyway, and he pulls 13 pieces of metal out of my eye, right? So I get an eye patch and some drops and shit. And about 4 days later, I still get a little irritation sometimes. I still feel a little, when you turn, like a dry ball joint. You got that one spot where it kind of feels rough and then it goes back to smooth again. Right. So I go into Eyeglass World where my ex-wife worked, and I went and saw the doctor there, right? And this dude's got the same credentials as that fuckhead. Bit older, bit wiser. He takes me in this room. He puts a drop of fucking ultraviolet AC dye or whatever the fuck it was in my eye. Puts me under a UV light. Shoe spreader again. He says, man, you got 7 pieces of shit in your eye. What the fuck? What did I pay those fuckers? They sent me a bill for $3,000, by the way. What did I pay those fuckers $3,000 for? You know what this guy charged me? Actually, he didn't charge me shit. I asked my ex-wife what to give him. She said, case of some special Canadian whiskey, whatever. Fucking like $60. That's why you Canadians have that shit cornered on the fucking healthcare thing. Has nothing to do with it. Thought it was funny. All right, Nick, entertain the folks for a minute. I have to go stir something. I'll be back in a minute and a half. Sheesh. Let me push that lawnmower in a little bit. I was gonna run it, but did you seriously just sit there and do that the whole fucking time? Oh, Jesus Christ. Nick, I gotta admit, you are a valued part of the channel. very valued part. You are the character that. Oh, hey, look, I found another piston. No, that's got it. No wait. How in the fuck did that happen? Oh yeah, no, it is the same. Okay. Yeah, I found the other piston. If anybody was watching this entire video, you would be laughing your ass off right now and deciding that you might want to rethink my life choices. Nick, you haven't seen the drill, have you? The blue one? The little one that we usually have in here? All right. Well, anyway, I'm sure you haven't because I haven't. And I actually live in this cave. Then you probably haven't. Anyway, could you do me a favor?
I know that he builds. Like, I'm
Right. No, but I haven't seen it, so I'm sure you haven't either because I spend more time down here. That's the analogy I was trying to make, or not analogy, whatever the fuck. On the far bench where the vise is, you know what I'm talking about? There's a yellow plug-in drill.
You sure it'd be safe for you to use something with low power?
I used it last night.
Uh-oh. You didn't burn down the house?
I can't push it any faster, Captain. It's only a Civic. Yeah, I know that was totally random, but I really nailed the accent earlier today. I fucked it up on that one. Scottish is hard to do, believe me. Hell, British is hard to do. I've never done a good British accent unless I actually lived there for 6 months, which is the only time I ever had a good British accent.
I'm thinking about tomorrow morning trying to take that thing for a ride for a little bit, see how it does.
Well, Nick, you know what they say?
If it keeps,
There are those who ride, and there are those who don't. So, take your pick.
well, I'd rather try something that's a clunk.
Well, you know, I'm very aware of that, Nick.
On the
But
other hand, the Kia does have AC, so that's another plus.
right, I get that. You know, but I think we need to get. I think you need to put some mileage on that. You can plug it in for me if you don't mind. Unplug the Dremel. This guy here. Oh, by the way, I cut my toenail in half with that thing earlier.
Excuse me.
Brody, move your ass, dude. Thank you. Come here, Bubba. Brody, come here. Hey, good boy. Good dog. Good boy. You want to say hi? Fuck. Here, there you go. There. Don't knock over that. It'll smell. Okay. Hold on. Here, Nick, play with the dog. Brody, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm busy right now. You play with the goddamn dog, dude. Fuck. Brody, I love you, buddy. So that's what I was trying to do earlier, is polish my shaft in front of all of you. So, with some Scotch Brite, you can get out a lot of those micro scratches. If you guys are running those little condoms on your shock shafts that arrma comes with, good for you. I mean, I don't have the discipline to keep those going when they rip. You know, kind of like I don't know, being a really drunk 20-year-old at a college party and just banging away and the bag rips. Are you gonna stop? I would, but in the situation of the shock, I'm like, fuck it. You know, I never ran those back in the day, so I'm not going to now. I'm sure your shock oil lasts longer. I'm sure your shock seals, shafts last longer. I'm sure your bodies last longer. Maybe I'm just that fucking lazy. I don't know. Maybe I've got too much time and effort involved in shimming differentials and making sure the alignment and droop is dead nuts perfect. Maybe that's why I don't give a shit about the shock booties. I'm not discounting their existence by any means. It's a great idea. I'm glad somebody made ones that actually work for a little while, because somebody tried that back in the 90s and it was like, in fact, with this, somebody even made thin polyurethane ones. Yeah. So wait, do they come with a chart for the difference in spring rate? That's just stupid, man. especially when they're made for like 10 scale off-road cars, you know, back in the day with the 7.2 volt packs. All right, so we got one front assembled. So this is going to be the front. So we need washers. What are you guys saying about me? Yeah, Nick does that sometimes. At least he's not working on his car right now. When he's in that kind of a mood, God knows what'll happen.
Nothing catches fire.
Yeah, this is true. You haven't got a chance to play with the tools that make fire yet. That's why. We're not about to hand you a welder or a freaking oxyacetylene torch, bro. Oh, I saw the funniest video on that the other day. Some guy was underneath like a what's a toaster? Kia Soul, right? That little box thing.
The rat cube.
Rat cube. Because the hamsters. Yeah, I get it. Okay, that's funny. All right, I get it. Yeah, that car. And it was I think not the current, but last generation of them. And this guy's underneath it, and he's got a suspension, and the fucking inside of the car is on fire. You can barely. Dude, like either doesn't know how welding works, like you're applying massive amounts of heat to the metal. So if you have anything flammable on the other side of the metal, it's going to catch fire. And yeah, the fucking whole inside of the car was on fire. And this dude came over and started screaming at him and started like throwing glasses of water or whatever on the fucking car. Apparently, it wasn't in Russia because it didn't catch fire because it would have been vodka. Been to Russia? Yeah, it's no joke. At least it wasn't in the 90s. I hate to keep bringing up the 90s, but like those are some really good times in my life. Really fucking good. Like, you ever have stories that you know, no matter who you tell, if they've never heard it before, they're gonna be like, "Dude, you're so full of shit. You just made. There's no fucking way that happened." I got three of them, bro.
You tell him how you met Bon Jovi?
Dude, fuck you. First of all, I'm not a big fan of Bon Jovi. I don't even think there's any in my playlist, and I do have a lot of 80s and 90s music. Maybe Living on a Prayer, if anything, just because it's super popular, and I try to fit in other people in my playlist so I can play it on the radio at work and not get yelled at because it's nothing but nonstop punk and ska and fucking skate music, which, you know, not everybody who's in their 50s likes their music at 120 beats per second. Haywire, what up, dude? If it makes you feel better, I had one when I was pretty young. I think it was their first one, whatever the hell that. It was a self-titled. I don't know. I can't remember. That's great, man. Dude, I totally forgot some of the funny quizzes we had earlier. Oh, okay. Yeah. What part of a car is called a tulip? Haywire?
Tailpipe?
I've never heard of anything in an exhaust system called a tulip on any car. And there are muffler bearings on BMWs, so I don't want to hear it.
In other countries, they have exhausts that come up and they go up 3 feet and they're behind that back.
Yeah, that's a particular culture in Japan, dude. It's not like everybody in Japan does it. It's like there's probably like 100 of them or something. You know, just every video has all of them in it because they're very down with their culture and they always meet at the same spot because nobody else would allow that shit in any other parking lot.
Have you ever heard of the?
Anyway, stupid fucking question. It's the inside joint of a CV joint. It's called a tulip because it's got three shafts and three bearings on the end of the shaft that go into a cup. That's what the inside joint of a CV shaft is.
Have you ever heard of a Honda Civic Jordan?
No, I haven't. And you better Google that shit because I doubt it exists unless it's a one-off custom. You've seen it. Okay. Yeah. And you know what? I've seen a BMW M3 VTEC Prelude, CRV, freaking Audi. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a car with all those badges on the bumper. Doesn't mean it's what the fuck it is. What, somebody stuck some Jordan stickers on their fucking car, and do you think it's a Jordan version or Jordan edition? This is what happens. Wow. You can't make this shit up, dude. I'm very aware of that. And don't even bring up the organ or how it's played. You bastard.
There's one video.
Okay, okay. Well, no. Videos. Okay, of the same yellow car. Right. One of 500. Okay, so then look that up. Honda Civic Jordan. Were there really 500 made?
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Yeah. Nick, you gotta learn to research shit, dude. Trying to help you out. Seriously. All right. So front almost assembled. Right. One more shock in. Need to change the ball out to the new end. More fun than barrel pregnant goldfish. Oh, that was something funny last night. Did anybody look up the echidna? So it's ECHENDIA, I believe. Or it'll pop up if you look that up. Put the word penis after it. If you want to see one of the most in your life. But between this and the platypus, which also are from Tasmania, if they're into that whole God created Earth thing, man, dude, what the fuck happened there, dude? That was a wild night out, or fucking like one of those 3-day peyote trips. Because he came up with some fucked up shit on that end. If anybody looks it up, please let me know what your reaction is. I'd love to know. I'd love to see it if I could, but I love showing a picture to people because they go, "What?" I go up to them and I go, "Hey, you ever seen a 4-headed penis?" Go, what? Look at this. And I go, "Hey, you ever fuck a guy with a purple beard?" You want to? Oh, you can sit on my face, pretend I'm Barney. Where the fuck did that come from? That is so perverse. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on a tangent right now. I really am. So I'm simmering butter. I'm sure some of you know why. And yeah, I've been licking the spoon. So woo, yeah, all right. That's a good night. Yeah. My buddy just had surgery today, so he had a special request because he knew I knew how to perform such alchemy to take my magic skills back to the stove to make more special butter for him so he can consume in recovery from surgery. And because he won't be able to smoke because he had hernia surgery.
This actually was made for the
Okay, and then who's the company you're getting this information from?
Auto Express.
Auto Express. Okay. No. Okay. Is Auto Express an actual journalism company, or is that some advertisement somebody made?
No, it's for Jordan Formula One team. Have you ever heard of them?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that Jordan. Okay, Eddie Jordan just died.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, and as it should be. Eddie Jordan was a bad mofo, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little odd. I mean, man, had some weird ass pants. I don't know if you guys ever watched Formula One back in the '90s, but this dude was a character. He had kind of the Afro thing going too for a white guy. You know what I mean? Anyway, R.I.P. Eddie Jordan. Yeah, one of the few white people who had their own Formula One team. It's not okay. Well, I don't know how your mind works. It's not as disgusting as it is bizarre. It's just it wouldn't make me spit out a drink, but I mean I could see it happening.
Is Reddit a reputable website?
I don't know. Let's take that to the panel. Hey guys, is Reddit a reputable website?
Yes.
I believe Reddit is adjustable by people. Like you can go on and change things. Mm-hmm. So if anybody with a keyboard or a cell phone can change what's on the site, then I don't think it's reputable. Now, if the site just takes comments, that's different. But I don't know about Reddit because I don't do anything that has anything to do with news because there is no real news anymore. And, I remember a day back when I was a boy, The news used to have happy shit on it. There'd be something about some lady who got fucked real good last night. And everybody in the town was happy. It wasn't all murder and pedophiles and donkey fuckers and your mother getting busted for whoring again. And dude, this is gonna be like, I mean, I'm gonna have to like cut so many clips out of this. I mean, not take them out of the video, but they're staying in the video, of course. But like, I've got so many sound bites I'm gonna rip off of this for other shit. I'm on a tear, bro. I hope I'm entertaining you fuckers, because honestly, that's why I'm here. I'll tell you what, dude. I'll look it up for you right now. I'll look it up right now for you. I will, because I have it. I have a photo of it. That's why. Because I actually screenshotted um, the uh, the picture on Homeboy's website. All right, listen. I'm going to give you three part numbers. Okay, so write them all down, and they'll have the specs when you look it up. Just go in the search bar, because you can search by SKU or whatever, and put in that part number, and it'll come up with what the spring is, the length, the pound per inch, all that stuff. And out of these springs, you can pick whichever ones you wanted. I forgot which one I'm running, but it's the one that's 10.5 or 10.6, nickel plated. All right, so here you go. Are you ready? Oh, 10548. It's the first part number. The second part number is 12477. Third part number is 1631. It tells me here also, first part number is 100 millimeters. Second part number is 70 or maybe 78 millimeters. Probably 78. Third part number is 95 millimeters. So that's one of the specs already. So there's your lengths that they're going to come up when you search the spec. It might be an inch, but he probably did the conversions because East Tactics on YouTube is awesome, and he does a lot of research. He also has jump competitions for videos and stuff like that. Totally fair, not by how good you did, but by random pick of when your video was sent in by rolling the dice. Really good dude. I learned a bit from him when I first started getting back into this because I've been at RC for so long. And he was kind enough to bless us with the Century Spring part numbers. And alas, everyone rejoiced with massive air. I can't think of going back to anything else on any of my vehicles, my Notorious, my Creighton, or my Spider. My Spider, that's what I call it. It's a Typhon with a Mojave chassis. Well, it was a Typhon. They put a Mojave chassis on it, so it made it long, like John Holmes RC car. And then we ran it through a TV at 60 miles an hour, and that's on the channel. And then we put Creighton suspension on it, and now it's like long and wide and has 10 scale tires, so it looks like a Spider. And I have to go stir again. So I'll repeat that timer, and I will check the overall timer. So I know how many more fucking times I have to do this. No, fuck, we're done. It's up. It's over. Fuck, I gotta fuck. Okay, so I don't want to leave you guys bored, right? Oh wait, hold on a second. Nice. Yes, cool. Thank you. No problem, bro. Anytime. That's what we're here for, man. Trust me. Anything you want to know about RC, if I don't know, I know somebody who does. And if you know it and I don't, please share. um, damn, 20 years. Holy crap, dude. That's a way long time. Why'd you get out? Please answer, and I will be right back. I'll actually probably be straining in here, so I don't have to leave you guys hanging. You get to watch the process. Nothing illegal, trust me. That would be really bad. All right.
Hey, Bob, I'll watch. Oh. Here comes my assistant.
We have that double layer there. Thank you. All right. We're back. I brought Crazy showed me. All right, there we go. So, yeah, so this is how you make method vitamins. No, I'm just kidding. Like I said, I'm boiling butter. Anyway, hey, hey man, whatever story you want to tell. You want to tell the long version, the short version? I'm here, dude. Whatever. I mean, I got work to do. Obviously, she brought my chemistry set. Yeah, no. So, yeah, we're using butter as a medium to extract tetrahydrocannabinoids from flowers in order for my friend who just had hernia surgery to have a much better recovery. However, like I said, he ordered a much higher dose than I'm used to making. It was 1 ounce per stick, so 4 ounces in a pound. I usually use 10 grams a stick. So yeah, right. Anybody that wants that recipe, check out leafly.com. Their recipe for can of butter. Very solid, works well, not too hard to do. That 3 hour burn kind of sucks, but it's worth it. Wherever you want, man. Like I said, I'm here. Do you want to hear mine first? I mean, I was only out for about 9 or so years, but um, a lot happened, like brushless and lipo. When I got out, gas was the only way to be badass. You know, I mean, gas still has its place. I still love to have like a Night Pro 8 scale buggy and go rip up a track a couple times, or race on a regular week. But um, or even on road. I did on road for a long time. What? That's my dinner. Do you need me to move it? Is it bothering you?
No, I was just wondering.
Yeah, that's my dinner. I didn't finish it. I'm going to later. The salmonella hasn't set in yet. You want to calm down? You just sat on a wet patch.
Oh.
There's another one, Nick. And if your keys poked a hole in that mattress, I'm going to stab you in the dick.
Ew, you see how perverted he is?
After the shit I've been through with these fucking air mattresses. For anybody who out there doesn't know, my house burned down 3 months ago. Or something like that. Nick was my roommate, who now lives upstairs in my mom's second bedroom. And I'm living in a room in the back of the garage with my wife, Claire, who's on the channel. And it's like, I don't know, 20 by 8. Like, there's a bedroom. That's my nightstand. This is my walk-in closet. The spare bed and kitchen are over here. And yeah, so it's a process, man. Lost 48 years worth of, or 46 years worth of shit I collected. But what are you gonna do? You're just crying over shit you can't fix. So just keep on trucking, right? That's all we can do. Anyway, so I'm not really doing a whole proper rebuild without new seals on these things, but the only difference I do from stock is I add a small O-ring, like I don't know, they're the Japanese shock kits, or not shock kits, but parts kits you can buy that have all the screws and shit in them. They usually come with these itty bitty O-rings. That's a good one. You can stick that somewhere in the pack to tighten up the O-ring pack to get more pressure on the shafts in order to better seal. I haven't had any wear problems by doing that. So there you go.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
oh, AC unit don't have.
unfortunately, in this situation, I don't get to learn a whole lot except how to deal with the aftermath because it had nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing. The fucking psychotically cheap ass slumlord homeowner, it was a rental, hired this freaking monkey to install a new water heater and replumb the house, dude. I wouldn't trust this kid with a potato gun, bro. He put plumbing PAX tubing on the outside of the house. Put it that way, outside on over the walls in the garage. Dude, when we saw everything in the roof that he did after the fire, dude, it was like he just threw that stuff out like he was running an extra telephone. Like it was just wherever. And fire started in the electrical box, and he just hooked up a brand new tankless water heater. I don't know if anybody knows anything about those, but I don't know much, but I know what I've been told. They use a hell of a lot of amperage because you're taking cold water and making it hot like that. It's not like a tanked water heater where you have stored hot water. It makes it right when you turn the switch. So a lot of juice to get those coils hot enough to heat that water that quick, especially if you got a lot of flow. It's usually double or triple the amperage anyway. So yeah, I'm sure he didn't change the breakers, whatever. But he didn't have insurance. I didn't have insurance. He was not charged with a crime, so I cannot seek the victim's restitution. And I'm fucked. There's a video on my channel called Before and After. About a day before the fire, I shot a quick little panorama of my workbench area and pretty much my whole room, me and Claire's bedroom at the old house. And after the fire, I shot the exact same panorama because I realized I had it on my phone. And it's a fucking scary sight to see what all your shit will turn into.
I actually saw a video of the
The what?
dripping plumbing.
Oh, yeah, show that to the peeps. Hold that up there real quick. Yeah, see, the day the plumber dude said he was done, give me that thing. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to this. The day the plumber said it was finished, that's the exterior wall above my washer and dryer. And dude dropped so much ceiling insulation into my garage sink it clogged the whole fucking thing, and my fucking my washing machine, drain. Fucking yeah. So would you trust a guy that does that with plumbing to wire up the highest amperage unit you've got in your house, except for your air conditioner? Good luck, my friend. Oh, I see you on the other side. Here's where you got lucky. All right. Only one of our pets was home. R.I.P. Bear. It's Claire's dog. Um, I was at the park with my 3 cars, my remote, all my batteries, well, all my 6S batteries. About 10 went up. And Brody, my dog. I love you, buddy. And I come back to the house, coming up the block. All right.
That's what it did to the fuse panel.
Yeah, that's the fuse box out in the garage. Now, the garage didn't have any fire damage. Thank God. My tools, my 64 Triumph TR4, that was my dad's. A lot of equipment, big drill press, welder, bench grinder, sanders, etc., etc., etc. And God knows how much money worth of parts and parts and specialty tools, all kinds of shit. I used to run a garage out of my old house, and I still have a full set for work. So, yeah, it's not the age that gets you; it's the mileage. Trust me on that one. Yeah, but that's right, man. You just gotta keep on trucking. What else are you gonna do, right? What do you do? Just friggin' start, screaming and beating shit up, and I mean, what's that gonna solve? You're just gonna, inflict problem on other people. Oh, hey, you guys want to see a cool tip? All right, so I'm gonna show you your two basic effed up ring gear patterns. If your ring gear looks like this when it fails, you have more than likely had a bearing failure. One of your bearings has too much play and has let the entire assembly move so that it got out of the line enough to cut all the teeth down. The other one is like this. Both these gears are from aluminum housings. You can see this one's only chewed up in special places, like 3 or 4 different spots. Um, if any of your bolts come loose in that ring gear, it'll flex enough to come out of mesh enough to chip the teeth off or grind them down. So that's because your bolts came loose on that. And you'll be able to know when you take it apart and, bolts are finger tight. I have several videos for diff building. I mean, heck, I did it on the last live cast I did last night. So I'm not going to go over all the diff stuff. There's a lot to it. I would highly suggest checking it out. I'm not saying that my wife invented freestyle RC, like flat ground tricks. I know she didn't. I'm sure somebody out there figured it out a long time ago, probably like 30 years ago. But when they had a freestyle competition in Armageddon, she came out doing that stuff, and I don't think anybody else was even trying that at the time. And I mean, you don't see a ton of it. People just use it as like a recovery method if you flip over, but you don't see a lot of people actually going for doing stuff on flatland. But my wife definitely does it, and I do it. I think it's cool. I don't base my suspension setup on it, nor do I do hers. Actually, she hasn't let me touch her suspension setup except for change shock fluid. She got that truck. She hasn't let me touch. She said, "Stay the hell off my truck." All right, man, that's fine. It ain't broke. All we did was change the fluids, and that is highly recommended. You get a new V6 Notorious Creighton, EXP or non. Replace your, well, you don't have to replace. Check your fluids. Make sure they're full. Well, you don't need to have fluids squirting out of your differential or nothing, but you need to have full fluids. And Nick, remember your 223 when we got it?
What's that?
Your how much fluid was in your differentials?
Not much.
They had like a, I don't know how to explain this. A dollop of grease, like just like take your, well, I'm like a well-hung lesbian. I got big ass hands. Like a dollop of grease and go. That's like whole diff right there. Done. Like there wasn't enough in there to change any, like rotational differences. It was just enough to lubricate the thing so it didn't chew itself to shit in 30 seconds or less. That was pretty much it. All right, where is my other black pencil? Now we're gonna have a problem. No. Yep, there it is right there. You can tell it by the groove. The groove for the O-ring. Yeah, that's another advantage of these pistons, having that O-ring on the outside. That's kind of how these work as dual rate. They've got separate holes in the bottom that are just vents to where the O-ring sits. So as the piston pulls down through the fluid, some of it goes into those holes. It pushes the O-ring out and causes extra friction to not only keep the fluid completely damped and solid and not have any bypass, so giving you extra damping on the rebound, but to not have it come out to friction on the actual plastic part because you're evening it out by pressure on the back of the O-ring, so you get less wear in the cylinders, which is always good because they're not cheap, even if you buy stockies. And if you're dealing with some nitrile, titanium coated race, whatever shock bodies, then yeah, you know what those cost. Keep on trucking. Keep on bashing. That's what I'm talking about. Yo. That was the gayest thing I did all year so far. I swear. Yeah, because when I met Kamikaze at Armageddon, that was last year. So that's definitely the gayest thing I did all year. If anybody wants to see that clip, I fanboyed out like a mo when I met Kamikaze at Armageddon. Funny story. Like, I had no idea. he was even there. I didn't even really know, like I'd seen his videos and I knew he was like pretty much the best out there, but I didn't know like any of the side stuff, like he did crawling and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't know what he looked like. I don't care. I usually don't get into being a fanboy about anything, but the skills like that, bro. I mean, not just in editing, but in car control and just sending it nonstop, man. I mean, that's and trust me, his parts list isn't as big as you'd think it would be. You'd think it'd be like a whole new chassis on every video that doesn't hit. No, it's not like that, dude. He really, you'll understand. Well, any of you who have driven for bashed, I should say, for well, no, even driven an RC car for 3 years, maybe less. You realize the point when you start to drive not more conservatively, but more knowingly of what certain maneuvers will do to you in certain distances between certain objects, and therefore you give yourself a little more latitude without killing performance at the same time. You know what I'm saying? God knows we all did it. I did it twice. I'm sure we all did it tons of times. You jump from a off-road 8-scale gas into a 12-scale four-cell electric. You're gonna have to learn how to drive again. It's not the same. And for those who don't know, 12-scale electric was this funny little pan car back in the day. The thing weighed about, I don't know, as much as like 2 thermometers and went like snot and would corner like, I don't know. I guess if you put a G meter on it, it was probably more like 6 or 7 G's in the corners because I know the 8-scale on-road gas, they were doing at least 5, I think, when the accelerometers came to Serpent. Anyway. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's funny. I got another text from Alan earlier, and Alan, I don't know if you're watching and not commenting, but and he, okay, so like he didn't remember the flip trick with the 180 I told you about, but when I asked him about the flare, he was like, "Oh, that's just easy, man. I was doing that back with my Grom," and I was like, "Okay, well, now we're getting somewhere, because I'm trying to figure out like." I'm not trying to be his, trainer or anything like that, but I'm trying to making more gruel for the children. Trying to figure out how best to practice if I tell him a good way to practice. That's as far as I'm going. I'm not trying to push this kid anywhere. He can do that himself. Uh-oh, we have a visitor. That would probably be Clara. I'd say likely. I don't need that timer anymore. Fuck off. It's 9:30 already. Holy shit. All right, well, at least not that late. Still got a bit left of me. All right, so we're going to have to do this with Lucas. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, but okay, so shock oil usually comes up to about 100 weight. I'm on live. Hi. Oh, sorry about the hose. I cleaned the thing. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So it's going to get a little weird in here for a bit. Let's get weird. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm not really into that kind of weird. Well, it depends on what you're talking about. And what night is it? How much do I drink? Anyway. What? Oh, I've been licking the butter.
That's what she said.
No, remember the first time I made a batch of butter?
Yeah.
And I kept licking the spoon?
Give me a baby.
I patched that, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't know if it'll hold. I let it dry as long as it said to. So, anyway, okay. Oil. Right. So, I don't know about you guys, but where I shop, 100 weights, like max, which is fine by all means. Depends on what you're going with your hydro velocities. Shock oils and shock pistons, dude, there's a whole lot more to them than you think. You start talking about cavitation on the backside of the hole and changes in pressure due to hole shaping, and yeah, it gets pretty tricky. And I mean, so shit it. It's hydrodynamics. It's pretty cool shit. But so Lucas Engine Honey, or oil stabilizer as it's called on the shelf, is technically 140 weight. Here's what I like about it. It's very prone to not leaking because it's too damn thick. And man, when you want to talk about doing monsters, right, and not having rebound that jumps your back end over, unless your tires do it, it wasn't your suspension. And it's not too thick to where it won't like ride out and do little quick little jots, transfer the weight quickly. It's good. Hell, try it. It'll rinse out. Trust me. You might need some gasoline, but it'll rinse out. Smoking is bad for your health. It causes premature babies. I don't know if I had to say that, but fuck it. It's never a bad idea to cover your ass. Yeah, can you hold on Brody for a minute so he's not bugging Clara when she's trying to set up air mattress? Oh, this isn't even open. Oh, it's because I've only used it for haven't used it for shocks yet. What did I use that for? I just building shock welding. Yeah, I guess so. I use this for O-ring lead as well. Works pretty good for that. Babe, are we gonna be loud for a minute? I'll just mute it.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, we're going dark. Audio only. The deaf people won't care though. Promise. Come back up. Hey guys, sorry about that. Hey, cool spoon. Glad you made it, bro. Lots of stuff is up, dude. I'm doing a shock rebuild and also straining butter. Yeah, buddy just had a hernia surgery and asked me to infuse some butter for him so he can have a comfortable recovery. So I said, okay, because I know how to do that. It's an easy recipe. You can check out leafly.com. Look up can of butter. I need a container. Can you give me one of your little bowl thingies? Babe?
What?
Can can I have one of your little bowl thingies?
Whole things?
I need a container, a bowl, or something like that, please. Nick, do me a favor. Can you get that RC car shit out of there so she stops stepping on it?
No, it's all done.
Okay, and she kicked that car like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, I don't
I
need
don't
that.
use it. Sorry.
It's already busted up enough. Yeah, I'm sorry that we have small space. All right? It's making more gruel for the children. Yeah, that's a pound of butter and 4 ounces of heavy duty. I believe indica. Oh, and we went over the springs earlier. I didn't know if you wanted to know, but I gave out the part numbers for the Century Springs. We run the 10.5 pounders. Well, they make heavier ones too. I got 3 different part numbers if you want them. Picture it so I don't have to remember this shit because I won't. Did you want those, Cool Spawn, or anybody else? Just let me know and I'll rattle them out real quick. Oh, and I got a chain breaker from Walmart too, and replaced pins and axles. It's really easy. Unfortunately, I am out of new pins to replace, so can't show you. But I can show you the tool and all that shit. All right. Well, I got those anyway. Chain breaker from Walmart, $10. No big deal. And yeah, it works really, really good. You got a sheared off pin on an axle, or if they're worn out and you want to replace them, you can get them from MQC. I'm sure some people have them. You can just punch them right out and punch them right in.
Well, yeah.
Shout out to Joe Indeed, my friend.
Put it up against the window.
Is he go?
Or put it behind the head.
It looks so much more homeless now.
What?
So it looks so much more homeless now.
What?
I don't know, because it's just like, you know, like, I don't know, it just reminded me of Boondock Saints when I looked over there. Whatever.
Prison dot.
Something
Okay,
like
some
that.
naked lady posters for you. Be
Yeah,
all
go
right.
fuck yourself, dude. Seriously. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is Nick from the channel, and my wife Clara from the channel, obviously. The only person actually who's not a member of the 941 Bashers, well, I'm sure there's plenty of 941 Bashers, but they don't communicate with us for some reason. Not that we have a bad reputation or something like that. We just haven't met them. Alan is not here, the master of the skate park. That kid's been driving for 4 months. I swear. I met him at the Punta Gorda Park. He had a Grom, and he's the first kid I ever handed my remote to with one of my 6s that didn't destroy it or crash into something at full speed immediately. He actually went out and did some tricks. And I'm like, dude, you should get one of those. You're pretty good. And he's like, okay. And he got one like a month later. And he's been driving literally 4 months. Kid's amazing. I mean, he does some stuff way better than I do. I've been doing this for, God, it's 30 years.
Hey, you know Harry?
Really? That's funny. I'm actually from the 707. What's your OG area code?
781.
781? Yeah. What's yours, Nick? 318 814
941.
609.
609? Yeah. I got hope. All right. You're probably gonna have to restrain that overnight. Yeah, that's still like a gelatin. There's just too much of that crap in there. Whoa! But you don't want to push on it. If you push on it, it'll give it a chlorophyll taste.
Bones.
You don't want to push it out.
Okay.
Let it strain.
Right.
Night, Nick.
Have fun.
Sweet dreams, baby pop.
I'm gonna come by in the morning to go grab the Civic and drive it around a little bit, and as long as it stays good, I'm gonna drive it to work tomorrow.
All right, sounds like a plan, dude.
Yeah, I got some miles on it.
Yeah. Hey, have you noticed anything that is a concern? Try to write it down. Because if you try to remember it, you'll either come back with incorrect information because you try to remember too much shit, or you won't remember all of the shit.
Well, that's why I want to drive it around, so I can.
If you need a pen and pad, I got one in the shop. Come by before you take off, all right? All right, buddy. Good night. Oh, hey. I need to know what fuse that was.
Huh?
What fuse was that?
15.
What was the name of it on the map?
Charlie.
Was it the ECM backup fuse?
It was actually a for the speed sensor and for the ELR.
Are you telling me that, or is that the name of the fuse?
I could tell you.
I don't want your opinion on it. I want to know what the fuse is labeled in the fuse box. Please. Thank you.
Come on, fingers.
All righty then.
Logan, is that yours?
What? Yes, that is mine, and I do plan on finishing that at some point. Thank you. Nick, I need you to do me a little baby favor. I'm going to need you. Oh, then I need you to do me a favor too, because I wasn't going to ask anybody to carry two things. ELD gauge assembly transfer control module PGMFI. That's why your fucking ECU is dumping fuel. That's a fucking power input to the fucking ECU. If the ECU is missing power and in the transistors with Honda in it, it's not going to be able to regulate fuel.
Okay.
So essentially, you have like three 12-volt inputs, like one constant, two with the key on, or two more with the key on. One of them was gone. So like only your right brain was working.
Yeah,
So
right
we might want to stick it in real quick and see if it changed since you found that.
That's what she said.
I wasn't talking about the probe.
Well, no, because the the air fuel ratio actually reads an idle now too, which it didn't before.
Right. Like I said, missing a input to the ECU, but on the Honda, because the Honda has such a higher range of injectors it can handle, it went all the way to the end of the spectrum. Yours stayed at 280 because 280 is as high as that thing's ever been programmed for. The Honda can carry any injector you want.
You need to put that in the
That
fridge
is just needs to be solidified so it can be restrained. This needs to be put in the fridge, guarded with your life. This is for
Which
Jesse. Fridge inside the house. They know what it is. They already know I'm making it. Hell, I cooked it in their kitchen.
Okay, well, where's a good spot to put it in there?
In the fridge, in the top area where it can cool and solidify. It's butter. It's just a little dark. It's kind of some like I don't know, southern butter. Okay, back to you guys. Sorry about all that. Jesus Christ. Hey, take it easy, bro. Sorry you couldn't hang more. If you ever want to, I don't know, pick my brain, I'm saying, I don't know. I'm not saying it looks like you could use it, but I don't know. I like to help people. Yeah, dude. I'm actually gonna like do a video on just him, like go to the skate park with him and like mainly just film him for a day because I got a feeling that maybe not anybody special. Like, I mean, we're not talking like in a major manufacturer, but maybe like a shop that's got a couple of satellite stores, might be interested in throwing dude some swag so he can pimp it. We don't really have the infrastructure for that yet because we need separate editors because if he was on a thing, then I couldn't really be working with it with a driver because if then I was in a film, it'd be a conflict. But anyway, it's a different thing. That's kind of shit I had to put up back in the day. Yeah, dude, for sure, man. Anything we do at Northport, it will always be tax skate park. And I know my shit's not all in my goddamn mosquitoes, dude. It's so bad. I haven't updated my playlist in a while. I will soon. Sorry about that. I think I'm gonna make a new one too of the just incredible hits where it's just like the wow stuff, like when he was doing the flares the other day at the skate park. That was just nuts. He said it's really easy, so I don't know. Maybe I'll try it next time. I don't know. The last time I tried to turn coming off a jump, I just got off camera and freaking landed on my head. What's up, Nick?
Well, if the car drives tomorrow, I'll take it to work, and then if we hook up the Honda this weekend and it works, then great.
All right.
If it was something stupid like that, then awesome.
What time do you want to go down on Saturday then? Because I'm
Sunday.
trying to really plan out my week. Oh, Sunday. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll just get with me Saturday night. We'll figure it out. Because I got a lot of shit I got to do this weekend. With I got to start calling all my insurance people and getting doctors in place and dentists and fucking getting set up for foot surgery and all that shit. So, and I need you to start looking for places to live.
Yeah.
You were all gun ho about that at first, and I said stop because we had to get everything done with the old house. We're done with the old house now.
I anything under $2,000 is not pet friendly and smoke friendly.
Okay, that's fine.
So
Okay, $2,000 was okay before. I didn't want to go to 25,
yes.
but if
I'd
we can
rather-
find something amazing for 25, like if we can find something with enough room to park all the fucking cars we have, because I mean, you've got what, 4 now? Real cars, not RC.
Well, that's the-
Okay, he's got 3. My wife's got 2. I've got 2 technically because my Triumph doesn't work though, but so are 3 of his cars. So yeah, we need property.
Well, I just need to figure out what we have to put down too. Like what if we?
Well,
I have $2,000 put away right now. I have
okay, I
2500.
believe Clara has 3
Okay. So
because she got a check for 3. And if anything's missing, we will have some talking to do. And I mean, I can come up with $1,000 off the hoof in like 2 weeks. You know, I mean, I had a savings account until I blew a motor up. Shit happens. Even the really good ones fuck shit up sometimes. Not that I'm saying I am. I'm just letting you know. Oh yeah, I probably should have told you to grab some of that shit.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm on that.
Oh, by the way, for anybody wondering, I wonder what that designer couch is in the corner. That's actually a chair off a fucking.
I can't see it, thank God.
Yeah, it's a lounge chair off a pontoon boat. So yeah, it would just happen to be in the room when we moved in. So we didn't have any furniture because fire.
the welcoming gift.
But yeah. So how are you 3 dudes doing? Oh, yeah. So with the remnants of that, once it solidifies and everything, you can restrain it, put some hot butter through it, make some mild form, in case you got a newbie that wants to try it. You know what I mean? But
You have fun.
all right, Nick,
Night,
Yeah,
watch out for assholes. They're
I
everywhere.
know, right?
Yep. That's what I heard. Yeah, no, I had some really good ones earlier. Gotta love the butter. All right, so pull the little bleeders out of these caps. And yes, if this was a proper rebuild, everything would have been washed down and re-cleaned and 2-part video kind of thing. Not 2-part video, I mean, but it would have been half-day edit. Some time that you did not actually see. But I'm just took the car apart for one reason, found all other problems. It's coming up for a tear down anyway. I'm not gonna rebuild the shocks and then have something go wrong with another shock shaft between now and the full rebuild and have to do it again. Just slap in the parts we need and get it going. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't think, my vice grips are not in here. They are out in the garage because I just resurrected that lawnmower. Yeah, there's a video on that too. So my mom's caretaker had a John Deere riding tractor, not like $5,000 version, but maybe probably worth 18 or 2. And they had a really bad flood here during the last hurricane. I was up in the next town, and there's videos of that on the channel as well. My water was up to my front door and all that kind of crap. But they had water in the garage, and the house is built up on like 6 feet. So they had pretty much 4 feet of water around the perimeter of the house. So the lawnmower was underwater, brackish water, and then sat for 100 days or more. I don't know exactly, but at least 100, I can tell you that. And I decided I could fix it, so I tried. And I got it running, but I haven't ran it. I haven't mowed a lawn with it yet, so not that I plan on it, but I plan on seeing if I can. I just got it to run. I haven't heat cycled the motor or anything. Seems all right. I don't think the rings are seated right now because of the rust, the cylinder scarring, but I think after it runs for a minute, just like a brake rotor that rust up overnight, it'll come back. Yeah, just got to heat cycle once or twice. Just burning a little oil now too. That's why I know, because you're not getting black smoke from no, it's burning extra fuel. Yeah, it's black smoke, right? So no, it's got some blue to it, so it's oil. Yeah, but because the rings aren't seated. I've got some 1040 in there, a bit thick. Not synthetic. Don't put synthetic oil in a lawnmower. Makes for a very bad day, especially overhead cam or overhead valve. I mean. What the fuck? You want to hold my beaver while I wax my giraffe and smack my donkey? What the fuck are you talking about, man? did your computer just have an episode? Freaking stroke. Will the salty water affect in the drive belts for the cutter deck? The fuck does that
Salt
mean?
water will affect everything.
Oh, you mean you're talking about the lawnmower? Fuck. All right, cutter deck. I've never heard anybody call it a cutter deck in my life, bro. I'm sorry, man. Conflict of language.
I knew what he meant.
Okay, yeah, you're from a lot closer. That's why. As dialects go, they tend to be per area. Everybody up in that area speaks English.
Well, that's what you call it, the deck, right?
Yeah,
Okay, you called it a cutter
or
deck.
mowing deck. Cutter deck. I didn't know he was talking about 3D printing, freaking making a chain whipping RC car, or what the fuck. Yeah. Anyway, okay, right. So, saltwater affected drive belts are cut. Yes, absolutely. And not so much saltwater, but brackish, because brackish is the pH balance in brackish tends to carry more chemicals with it, especially iron and phosphorus. So if you have a brackish area, you more than likely have a lot of iron and phosphorus in the muck that's underneath it anyway, because that's where they mine phosphorus. And there is a lot of unusable slag iron ore for some reason that comes out of areas like that. Probably old boats. But uh, both of those chemicals break down nylon and not natural rubber, but nylon and silicone, I believe. I might be incorrect. You'd have to look up the chemistry on it. I didn't get to take chemistry because they thought I was well, they knew I was an anarchist, but they thought I'd burn the school down. So, but I graduated on the honor roll with my balls. Um, hey, man, I might have gone for that on a British guy, honestly. But you know what? Honestly, I don't know if the British are so fond of their spool mowers these days. I mean, they were when I was there. I mean, if you had a push mower, it was probably a spool with like a 3-horse Briggs on it or something, or a Tecumseh or whatever warbler and monkey they had over there in Britain. Um, yeah. In fact, we had a British greens mower at the golf course I worked at, a Lysome's, $80,000 fucking dollars. It looked like a giant Zamboni. I think Brody's gonna puke, babe. You good, bro? You give him a chicken bone, didn't you?
No.
Canadian English. You know what's worse, Canadian English or English Canadian? Because there's a big difference between British English and English British. One is understandable. You want to see something really funny about languages? Robin Williams did a skit on golf back in the day. It starts off with, if you want to go on a linguistic adventure, go drinking with a Scotsman. And he starts going through Scottish friggin' slang, dude. You can't understand a damn word he's saying. And that's pretty much how it works, dude. I've met people from Southern England, and it's just like Southern America. The farther you go, the worse it gets until you get to Florida. And then everybody's from God knows where the fuck. Because ain't nobody here from here. And those ones, well, yeah, there actually are some, but they don't come out much. And when they do, it's probably to do something bad. They don't come out of the swamp for nothing. just kidding. Not all people born in Florida are from swamps, but they've all been raised near one. Guarantee you that shit. Anyway, I have nothing against Florida natives. You just don't have to put it on your vehicle. We're aware. Anyway, um, yeah, I mean, let's see. I was living in Birmingham, England. I had a job about, illegal job, whatever you want to call it. I was doing side pay. We were actually building the arena for the world's first speedball tournament, paintball, speedball. This was back in like '97, and it was crazy because paintball wasn't like huge yet in America. And it just started coming. It was like little tiny things, like little guys in army fatigues in the woods talking to God on a two-way radio, playing paintball, war games, whatever. It wasn't a sport or whatever by itself. And speedball was like where it was at in the world stage because that was like the fastest version of it. It was like the most entertaining, so it got the most money from TV and shit like that because they had actually put it on TV. And this was the first world championship of speedball. And they had all the teams from all over the world, It was kind of cool, but I mean, we didn't really know anything about paintball or shit like that. I thought it was cool because I kept picking up pamphlets that had all kinds of really cool CNC cut pieces of aluminum and little valves, and I didn't know anything about it except it was a air powered gun. I wasn't an airsmith. I became one, but I was just looking at cool little nits and bits, and reading about them, what they did and how they worked, and eventually they made it big over here. Me and my buddy started playing. We went pro-am kind of. Okay, so we couldn't play with the amateurs because we'd smoke their asses. And if we went out with pro teams, we would get rocked in 30 seconds or less, like a guaranteed Domino's pizza in the 80s. Anyway, yeah, so that was fun. It's kind of like using nitrous in a Civic. It's fun and shit until it's like one day you don't have a fun day, but you still spent $30 on a bottle of nitrous. Or you spent $80 on what would that be? A box? What was a box back then? What did they call that? I don't know. It's like 2,000 or 3,000 paintballs, maybe 5,000. I don't know, something like that. That was it was a case. Yeah, so yeah, because there were 200 in the hopper. 200 tubes, 300 tubes, whatever. Yeah, it was cool. I think I liked working on them more than I liked using them, because I sucked. I always played backfield, big barrel, making it rain and shit. But you could hear me coming a mile away. They used to call me Thumper because you could hear me fucking running. Oh, fuck, dude. I'm fucking 200 pounds and 6'3". And I'm not very fucking graceful. So suck it. Anyway, all right. So all but that one because the bleeder's still stuck in it because I never pulled it out because the screw was stripped because I didn't have my ice grips, which I'm going to get right now. I like that shit.
What?
Baby.
Yes.
I wanted to run it earlier to heat cycle it. The fucking battery's dead. And I don't think it's. Ow. Okay, let's start that fucker right about now. A little bit late. What time is it anyway?
10,
Fucking A, really?
10:05.
10:05, and I still got Mike here. So I imagine that's the one person watching me. No, it doesn't have to be belts to drive the blade. I used to have a lawnmower that had a PTO shaft, so that had a belt because you had to have something that would engage, and then it had a pulley in essentially a transfer case that had 3 shafts coming out of it, 1 shaft going in. Each shaft went to another 90-degree transfer case that went to the blade. And it was a commercial mower, but I bought it for $200, made it run, and used to cut my lawn in 10 fucking minutes. Hydrostatic? Hydrostatic is essentially just an automatic transmission. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, hydrostatic is a CVT but bathed in oil, steel components. I believe. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's what it is. It's kind of like yeah, I believe it's kind of like a CVT is on like a 93 to or no 2003 to 2009 Murano, where it's essentially a torque converter but steel based in oil versus a belt on an external pulley set. But I could be wrong. The ones I had were always hydraulic, which is just the way to do it. As long as you take care of the fluid, use the right additives, shit'll last forever. What's wrong, dude?
Nothing.
Oh shit! Fuck back! Spewed on me. Shit. You know what? I know I have. What do you call it? I have screws for this. Cause I want to put that strip one back in. Just stay there, you motherfuckers. Yeah. I think. Speaking of Chinese bolt kits. Oh, I know I saw them here. Boring. Is that it? Yeah, it looks like it. No, no, it looks like it. Shit. Just swore. Yes. Oh, no, you know what? That's right. I bought some. Bought some at the hobby shop. Do we have any left? Oh, yes, we do. Fuck yeah. And the fact that I fucking remembered that from like a month ago should blow your mind. My ass don't remember shit. Forgot my wife's birthday. Yep, I'm a fuck up. Oof. Those are values there. In the hole you go. This is a screw with the fuck. Oh, it must be the old one that's okay to use, I guess. Get some more of those damn things. No, they're just tighten up. That's good. Alright. So there we go. Here's your 140 weight M2C. This is there's the other two pieces I was on. Whatever. Whatever. So make sure these shocks are the same height with a different riser though. What the hell? This is a piece of flashing right in the middle. You can't even slide it over the shock shaft. So let me give you a background so you can see it. Hold on. See that? Oh yeah, there's one on that one too. There you go. All right, good job, guys. Yeah, I hope that was a Friday piece. It was a Monday piece. Holy shit! You know, the karaoke bar, dude. One of the Koreans or Chinese do. I think karaoke is more of a Japanese thing. Could be wrong. Just guesses. There we go. Always make sure your shocks are the same length. Any shocks, so if they're not, it's like having the wrong group. They'll screw you up, come off the stuff, and all that shit. Always make sure your spring collars are at the same spot too. Judging that your springs are the same length. There we go. Alright, those are ready for install. Put the shit box back together. And everybody's going. Yep. Oh, wait, no, somebody's back. Fancy mowers. Not a lawn tractor expert. More like a big step we actually use. Yeah, that would be a commercial grade lawnmower. Hydrostatic, though, is usually what they call a transmission in just a residential grade mower. You know, like a lawn tractor. Yeah. It's just pretty much means you got a couple gears, as far as I know. I mean, I don't know how they operate. I've never taken one apart. I replaced them. Worked in a lawnmower place for a minute, but I don't know how they're built. I don't know, man. It says zero. It says zero right now. It says zero. Are you a permanent resident? It says 0. I mean, unless you're popping in and out, I don't know. Maybe they were canceling me after 2 hours and 5 minutes and straining cannabis butter. Yeah, I made a mess. Are we out of paper towels and shit? We have nothing left.
Is the box empty over there, blue one?
Yeah, I had to use it for the lawnmower thing.
No.
Sorry, but
Yeah.
that was a fucking mess. No, there's 2 now, so I don't know. Did you just like take it? Second personality? I don't know, man. I don't know. I was just looking at the old number thing because usually, like, if there's nobody there, if it says 0, I'll just do dumb shit. As long as I keep it, not cancelable or whatever you want to call it. Fucking people are so stupid. Right, I need that new stand on for that one. And there's the rest of it. Yeah. Bring on the beast. Oh, shit. Fucking heavy ass tires. Alright. Sure, it'd be nicer if I could angle it all the way that way, or if I had a second camera like I used to, but sorry. Just mountain shocks, no big deal. If you want to know anything about them, I mean, they're stock armor units, armor units, stock success, bodies with armor shafts, stock size, M2C piston kit, 140 weight oil, 10.5 pound century springs, emulsion caps, also M2C, extra spacer in each seal pack in order to further tighten seals. Just like an O-ring about half the size of stock, is all you need. I don't know, maybe if I close the chat bar, it says I'm not chatty. That was the lamest thing I've said this month, I swear to God. Nothing from the freaking comedy gal over there. What do they call that? You know the word.
Peanut gallery.
Peanut gallery. That's what I was. Well, I knew I was thinking Charlie Brown for some fucking reason. Oh shit. All right. And that is one heavily damped and sprung ass car. I'll have to check it like really on straight edge, but your books are really good. So I got this bent spring, making the back of my wheelie bar attachment look kind of like a, well, So probably get that screw out of there if I can, and maybe go up to a 2.5. This is going to be really wonky if it actually starts coming out. I'm probably going to have to just detach the rest of the bar. Come on, you. Get out of there. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got you. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to have to attach the bar. I'll go ahead and take this wheel off for the case of obscurity. Where'd it go? There it is. Oh, yeah, okay. There we go. Oh, look, something else I just found. It's a nut on the back of my lower pin. Okay, well, we'll fix that over there. All right, so, Put this down just a little bit. Now you can see the hubs. Excuse me. Hopefully you got a big enough screen. You can see the hubs are knurled on the corners of the hex. Reason being, if you think about it, no matter how you have your wheels mounted on aluminum hubs, if you have a plastic wheel, I don't care how tight they are or what you got holding them down, unless the bolts going through it, it's going to move back and forth, even a tiny, tiny bit. Well, here's the problem with that, is that there's knurls in the nut. So if the wheel moves back and forth in a direction the hub doesn't, and it's against the threads, it's going to loosen that wheel with a kind of almost a ratcheting effect. So, wouldn't you rather the knurls be on the hub, not the nut? Just saying. So that's what we do with our hubs. We knurl them out with a flat punch, and we've had pretty good success with it so far. And I think we've done, 2 hubs in the past 3 months? And when you're going out I go out with at least both my trucks at least 3 days a week. Claire probably goes out, twice a month? 3 times a month? Sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick, I'm just saying, you know. Yeah, I know, and you usually work till 9, and I know you don't want to go to the skate park for 45 minutes after you just got out of work. Thank God. What fucking time. These fucking people. I'm not going to mention the company because that's just going to get me in trouble if I do. But flying monkeys. Anybody notice the brass rods yet? That's funny. Wait, you mean the nuts? You don't want the nuts to be serrated. You want the hub to be serrated. And if the nuts are serrated, it's going to loosen the nut. Think about it, man. But yeah, it does help. I don't know. I think we've been really successful with the lack of replacing hard parts lately. Even on my trucks, I mean, I'm throwing in some used shit. I really need a whole new fucking drivetrain. But now that I know I can replace pins in a snap, that fucking bike chain breaker, oh fuck. Any pin you got worn down on any drive shaft, I can pop that bitch right out and pop a new one right in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in like not even a minute. Super effective, super easy. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I mean, it might be like a 10-pin thing, or
Right.
might be 100. Who knows? But I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah, but that's the point though. Is that okay? So no matter how, if you have a plastic wheel, an aluminum hub, no matter how you have it mounted, unless it's something going through the actual plastic, it's gonna move. So when it moves, if it rocks back and forth, say 1 or 2 really good stoppies or wheelies or whatever, or maybe you land on throttle, it's going to catch the serrations on the nut and move the nut because it's going to move on the hub. So wouldn't you rather have the serrations in the hub so it doesn't loosen the nut? And maybe it does make little grooves in the inside of the wheel. And guess what? Most of them have. However, they become teeth and they lock together. Try it. Yeah, you have better luck with nuts up there. Probably because of your squirrels. Fucking chihuahua-sized fucking squirrels. No, but I don't know, man. I've got a feeling that, comparatively speaking, broken parts are only going to make sense with us when we compare summer to winter, my winter to your summer. Just because we've got so many different things going on with different plastics, different metals, different flex rates. heat soak options. It's. I mean, we can get comparative, but not dime per dollar. Yeah. We've gone through pretty good amount of these bolt-in hubs. We used to go through like one every batch at least. I mean, now we do like I don't know, a couple, one a month maybe. I know what we don't break ever is the Canadian RC 3D bumper mounts or bumper springs. I mean, sorry, tough as nails right there, buddy. And it looks like a frog, a happy frog. Sorry, Ron. It's adorable though. All right, let me get this bolt out of here. This might be the best one I've ever done. Fucking boomerang. Holy shit. Come on, you. What's up, buddy? Hey, boy. Who is that? All right. So, out you go. All right. Yeah, this is pretty good, dude. Really? Yeah. This thing is really fucking bent. Wow. This has been one hard hit. Full ass. Nothing but 100% kudos. Yeah, I don't even know if we get this out of here. Like, really. Took us more like a plant than a piece of hardware. Get out of the hole. All right. Here we go. Bro, seriously. That is one bent bolt, dude. It's a mushroom. Look at Venus flytrap with a washer on it. All right. Back to work. So, let's go with a big bolt on this one. Don't have much hardware organized yet. Probably got something sitting around. Here we go. That'll work. Stick that big mother in there. Oh, it's a Phillips head. What the? What? Where did that come from? Son of a bitch. Hell, that's a bit long, but do the job. See. That's gonna be a monster wrench. Got this Lexington steel bolt right here. No.
What? Sorry, I'm texting.
Making terrible references again to 90s porn stars. Shit that only I think is humorous.
Hi.
What the fuck?
What up, buddy?
Where the shit is the other stuff? Right off it. Yeah, I forgot about that. Here it is. All right. All right. Let's see. Oh, I wish I had that freaking drill. You haven't seen the drill, have you?
No.
God damn it. I have to trim this thing. It's pretty long. Dude, what I saw you do earlier in the last video I saw, were you coming out of the Psycho Bowl or whatever you guys call that thing? Bro, You were ripping that thing like you were ripping the freaking Grom, like straight up full balls out, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? In fact, I think I put that in there. Dude, that was wild, man. You were straight ripping that thing. I hope Nick sees that so he can see how to drive an 8S. Because that was impressive, bro. Very impressive. I mean, I've driven them. Can't say I've driven them nonstop, 100% hard like I do with my trucks, but pretty good. That was something else. Yeah, well, if you're not going to post it, send it. Unlike when you're actually at the skate park. If you're not going to, if you're not going to post it, don't send it. Let's see here. Oh, babe, do you remember what that thing was you had me watch the other day? The really funny, I don't know, what was he, a sociologist, psychologist?
Oh.
Talking about the difference between men and women?
Yeah, the brains.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just the difference in the male and female brains.
Okay. So, anyway, Claire found this really funny thing. There was this, like, literal doctor, college professor, talking about the differences between male and female brains, because I bring that up sometimes because sociology was one of my favorite classes in college, and I thought it was really interesting to learn there is actually biophysical difference between the male and female brains 90% of the time. It's very clear. Like anything else, sometimes they're a little more closer, depends on the person. Oh, and it has nothing to do with gender bias. Like if somebody is born male but wants to be female, it doesn't mean that brain is going to be female. It means that the brain is usually defined by the sex, not by the mind. Anyway, and then Quare found this thing with his dog, and it's really, really funny because he makes it really humorous, but everything he says is so fucking true. And like if you watch it with your girl, every once in a while you look at each other and go, "You bastard!" You go, "Oh, that's the way we are. What do you want?" It's good. I wish I remember what it was. Anyway, just watched it across the park, upside down. Oh.
Or the empty block or something like that.
The what?
I don't know. I'm going to say I'll find it.
Okay. Is that going to stay? Probably not. Stretch it out now.
Yeah, it's men's brains and women's brains.
Okay, so yeah, do a YouTube search, men's brains and women's brains, and
men's versus women's brains.
Men, something like that. It's just kind of hokey looking college professor dude, kind of a high voice. He's really, really funny. Definitely watch it with your chick. It's worth a giggle. All right, brother. I think I'm gonna cut it for now, man. I'm tired, and I gotta finish my dinner still and get everything sorted out. I still gotta push a lawnmower back in the goddamn garage. So I'll holler at your boy tomorrow, right? Oh man. Good night, dude. I mean, that was fun. That was hilarious. Dude. I'm definitely gonna watch this one because that was on point. Butter. Right? All right, bro. Much love from the noisy neighbors down south. I'll see you on the flip, man.